Welcome to 108 Gate, where we are looking at the energies of the fields, the current energies at which you are coming to the video now. And with that, I want to say thanks for new subscribers joining us, and old subscribers. Obviously, you're always welcome. Always thank you for supporting the channel. People sharing video, thank you. Likes, comments, it all counts, it all adds up, and it all is appreciated above all else, because it does take time to do these videos, and energy and effort, and a space in my home to make sure that there's consistency with some of the videos. So I appreciate it. So I want you to feel appreciated also. And with that, we come to today's, this reading's word, burden. And it was an interesting energy coming up as the letters were coming out. So what does okay, breathe. Burden. What comes up for you as you are thinking of the word burden, as you see the letters, other words popping out? Is there any connotations with them? And so that you're able to get a healthier perspective if you need to, or identify that you have a healthy perspective of the word burden, and go with that, appreciating your emotional intelligence to acknowledge how you feel about the word burden or burdens. So what I mean by that, and that's just come out, so be thankful for what is good now. There you go, exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes this is just as an example, take the bits that work and you can play with, or you can help you go into deeper questions, whatever. Let the rest go. You can even watch the video again at a later date, because sometimes we've worked on something and we come back and there's something else on another level to work with, particular idea, particular concept, particular words, particular emotions. So the playlist is there for you to utilise for your own convenience, at your own convenience. So if, for example, we are helping someone and initially we help them the first time and it's not going out your way, it's not difficult, because it's a one-off. So you're like, you know what, I can do it this time, yes, I'll do it. And then the second time it's like, I'll do it once more. Third time it starts grating. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh time, it becomes and starts becoming more of a burden. I'm not saying it's anyone here, I'm not saying it's wrong or correct or whatever, but you heard, I don't know about yourself, but I heard a lot about that when during the lockdown people were helping each other out with certain things, or helping certain neighbours out, and it was okay until the lockdown finished and they wanted to get back to doing their thing and back to their life. And then the people that were being helped sometimes got used to it and expected it to continue. Then it more so became a burden. So my point is that we start off with good intentions. We intend to have good intentions and we continue with good intentions. But at the same time, we've got to be careful what we're starting off, with whom we're starting things off, and how we start it off. So there have to be a different kind of boundaries set. So if it's easy for someone to expect it to happen again, don't be surprised if they'll come back again for help in the same way, in a particular way. So there's a matter of protecting yourself, and it feels like there's like loads of vivid images, but I can't quite capture the images. And then it's an energy in the throat chakra. So with certain things you need to have ready to be said. If you look at a situation where something did become a burden, if you replay that scenario, what would you say differently now? What would you do differently now? use that as a way of developing and providing yourself with a kind of answer before it happens. Why I'm saying this, I don't know. It could be possible that you're going into a new space, you're going into a new job, you're going into a new relationship, you're going into a new dynamic, friendship, whatever it is, and in that process there's certain mistakes you don't want to be making again, and that means to make sure that you've got a solid grip on, if this scenario was to come up again, how would I do it differently so that I'm not burning myself out? How would I do it differently so that my resources are protected? When I have excess resources, when I have spare resources, when I have more than enough resources, then from there I can give to others. But if my resources are not replenished, if my resources are low, if my energy is low, if my love for myself is low, if my free time for myself is low, I'm not in a position to do something for someone else, regardless of the guilt, regardless of what their expectations are, because that goes into the energy of it being a burden. Other way too, are there times or ways that you being a burden or felt like you're a burden to someone else, but it was misunderstood? Do you not go for help? Do you not seek assistance because of being fearful of being a burden? So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm Indian, British Indian, Anglo-Indian, English, basically with brown skin. And a part of our cultural thing, I'm just saying this as an example, part of our cultural thing is if you're born female, for certain generations, it was perceived as, sometimes people still perceive it as, female is a burden, a female is a debt, female is perceived as a financial debt that has to be paid for, has to have a dowry and this and that and whatever. And it's like, there are still some of those beliefs that are carrying on today with different generations, with some generations that you think there it wasn't happening with. It's all the context. But my point is, I'm not a financial burden in a lot of ways. Depends on who you speak to. And I don't intend to be being a financial burden. But my point is that even if I was or was not, it's being drummed into self in so many ways that conscious of not asking for certain help from certain people because of knowing that their perspective is that's a burden. Self is a burden to them because of certain things. So explore that concept. Do you ask for help when you need it? Do you ask for help when you want it? That's quite a long introduction. I have a feeling that introductions are going to get longer. So for those of you who would enjoy a bit more of an explanation and something to chew on and ponder about, you'll be getting a bit more of that, I think. So already 8 minutes, 20 seconds in. So temperance, find balance and be centered. There you go. It's about what you perceive as a burden and how you perceive yourself as a burden. True or not, question it. And how others may perceive you as a burden. True or not, explore it. Get to the truth of it. Get to the point at which you are comfortable. Be thankful for what is good now. Be thankful that you have, hopefully all of you have, a roof over your head, food in your tummy, heat or air conditioning, whatever you require. You've got clothes, clean, you're able to shower, you're able to have certain, or bathe, whatever it is that you need. Hopefully you have that. If not, where is it that there's some element of burden stopping you from having what you need, stopping you from having what you want, stopping you from being more of your higher potential? And it's not always about your higher potential, go, go, go. It's about be thankful for what you've got now, be content with what you've got now, and yet evolve, grow from that space with a level of satisfaction, with a level of contentment, with safety, emotional well-being. A whole different ball game. One more. We have enthusiasm. The best can be here, believe it. So now, like I said, taking it to another level. If you're doing something and you're enjoying it, why not take it to the next step further? If you're going to a new job and you can see that this project can go this way or that can go that way, are you taking those steps to like, right, I can do this? Being careful in that process to make sure it's not becoming a burden. Like when we have too much enthusiasm for something and I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, and then all of a sudden you've weighed down because once is fine, twice pushing it, but when it becomes all the time that you're expected to do it now and to sustain it, what happens then? So being careful now and aware now of what you're taking on. So interesting setup for this one. We want a feminine card here, a feminine card here, and we're going to have a masculine card there. So those of you new to the channel, we basically go with the feeling and the energy of the particular reading, and then the layout goes around that energy. It all forms in different ways. Excellent, perfect, can't say it any better. So burden, enthusiasm, the best can be here, believe it. Judgment, you've got to judge what is best for you. You've got to judge what is beneficial for you, what is not beneficial for you, so you can say, having that confidence to be able to say, I can help you this time, but I can't do it again because ABC. Do you have the confidence to be able to say that? Or do you have the confidence with some people, but other people, they've mastered emotional blackmail or guilt tripping, or just help me again, please, like just, or certain relationships, they have a certain dynamic that because it's so and so, all right, I'll do it again, or because they have a certain part of themselves that's a bit vulnerable. I'm not going to say any specific things, but it could be that they're a particular age, or they have an illness, or they have something that they're vulnerable, and it's like short term you can help them, but long term they may require a different kind of help, a different kind of support, or you may require a different kind of help, a different kind of support to support them and help them. So you know what I mean? So have a think about it and have a look at how are you not carrying burdens? How can you alleviate burdens? Are you seeing yourself as a burden? Are you actually a burden? Or are you just thinking you're a burden and therefore don't ask for help, you don't ask for support? Be thankful for what you got. Be thankful for what you have, what is good now. High Priestess, go into that bigger space of self, into that higher space of self, in that more illuminated and safe place within. Look from that perspective. I feel safe in these areas. This I don't feel so safe in. How can I alleviate that burden here to bring myself some more energetic, emotional support here, so I can balance out things in my own life, so I'm not feeling the burden of my own life, of my own expectations, of my own job, of my own projects. Excuse me. Temperance, find balance and be centered. Knight of Wands, proceed with caution, but proceed. Stepping forward into this with awareness and knowledge of who you are and what you need, where you've been and where you're heading. It's gonna influence your ability to let go of burdens or not perceive yourself as a burden. Understanding the deeper elements of burden, where it actually is or where it's perceived to be. Empower yourself. So with that, again, I appreciate you being here. If you're not subscribed already and you like this kind of reading, we kind of do this vibe on this channel. So subscribe, join us and hit the bell so you get a notification of when other readings come up. And with that, till next time, peace and love.